Hey, Faye, I'm recording right now, okay? So it's going to be a little while. Okay? If you need something, come and tap on my shoulder, okay? If you need something, come tap on my shoulder. If you need something, come tap on my shoulder. Hey, Yoko, be loco. Hey, Mike. It's going all right? I was just giving my daughter instructions on how to be quiet during the stream. You guys doing all right today? Today right now. This morning I listed a bunch of shards of Alara cards, and now I'm category sorting all these Pokemon that came in, at least for the next hour and a half until it's time to go pick up my son from school, and then I'll probably keep doing that after that. What do you got coming in, Mike? Yeah, none of these. This was Alara Reborn, not Shards of Alara. Sorry, and none of it was like crazy good or anything. It was a lot of 15, 25-cent cards, but a lot better than 2-cent cards I'm trying to sell for 5 cents. So it definitely felt different than listing, say, Crimson Vow or something. Just trying to go through these and make sure there aren't any rares or hollows mixed in. Is that Dragon Ball Super, or is it the old DBZ card game, Mike? Ah. Yeah, I picked up some Dragon Ball Super the other day. I haven't done much with it yet. I haven't had a chance to sink my teeth into it. I finally caught to catch me live. This is the first live I've done in since May of last year. How's it going? Yeah, I've got some Pokemon here, about 44,000 or so. Got to get through the category sort real quick before I either sell it to people who might want it or try to get it listed myself. Hey, Double A. Thank you for your kind words. Yeah, I've not ever really been too big on lives. So it always kind of intimidated me. But I figured this was the kind of thing that might be. Well, after Mason's race against rotation, I thought that this might actually be at least somewhat interesting, or maybe even almost interesting. Oh yeah, those old DBZ cards were neat. I remember that game back when I was in high school. The upper deck one with the Z slider that went on the cards to show the current power level. Some treasure energy. Don't know if that's any good or not. Yeah, the reverse hollows are probably the best deal for money right now as far as Pokemon. Best TCG for bulk resale? As in to buy cards and then sell the singles? Best is a relative term. It kind of depends on yourself a little bit. But as far as, say, volume, the best would probably be Magic, because you can just turn them around so quickly once you get them listed. For value, I'm not sure. Pokemon is pretty good. Vice Force seems to be doing really good for me, so I'm not sure. Treasure energies are hard to move. I'm surprised by what moves, like all the time, so. And no worries, Lucky 13. I'm just making sure that I understand your question. This is all newish stuff, which is good for me. I don't have a whole lot of newish stuff in stock. Yeah, I ended up picking up a few collections of Vice. So if you're needing some, I've got it available in my Ko-fi shop while it's still waiting to get completely sorted. But yeah, here in a little while, or maybe this evening, I've got a stack of about 1,000 Hololive cards I'm wanting to try and sort and get listed. Yeah, I appreciate it, Lucky 13. It means a lot to me that people are looking at what I'm doing and seeing that maybe this isn't as intimidating or stupid as it might initially seem. Yeah, that's right, Card Throne. Magic moves so fast. You know, unless you're just buying Wishcoin crabs and Pillar Field oxes like they're going out of style, Magic is a pretty fast turnaround. Oh man, the double A. That's a double-edged question because there's two answers. There's the how many cards I want to list a day, and how many cards I actually list a day. It seems like when all the other things in my day catch up with me, listing is what ends up falling over to the wayside. I know I can, if given time and no other draws on my attention, consistently list about 1,000 cards a day from raw unsorted bulk to inventoried and on the shelf, and I could do that consistently. The inconsistency comes in not being able to make sure that I have that time available all the time. So I shoot for 1,000 cards a day and feel good if I hit 1,000 cards a day, but I often list 0 cards in a day. Vice Schwartz, my bulk price currently for commons and uncommons and climax commons and climax rares is 2 cents a card. $20 1,000. That's what I had to bring it up to before people started reaching out to me. What are you talking about, Yoko? I'm category sorting all this Pokemon. This is the first step. How's it going, Buck? Well, Ryan, I list everything, so I can't really advise you on that. Some of it doesn't move as quickly as others, but I list everything. That's right, busy work. Scott, yeah, I'm in a commercial space. It's about 1,000 square feet. I'm not utilizing it extraordinarily well. Some of it is taken up by some stuff from my house, from my recent house move, but yeah, it's 1,000 square foot commercial space. Yeah, the broader you get your inventory listed online, it stacks up on itself. It's just like a synergy type bonus. It will you'll catch more sales that end up being bigger sales because people add on stuff they didn't know they wanted from you. Um, Yeah, Ryan, so what I actually do is when I'm sorting like this, I category sort. So one category is bulk commons and uncommons. One would be rares. One would be, uh, ultra rares or mythics or whatever. One category is extremely urgent to list cards. Do you need something, Faye?
I'm done with my raisins, so can I get a treat now?
Do you think we can wait till after Cyrus is here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then why?
So he can have one too. Okay? Please. Can't be on the camera, okay? Okay, sure. Go ahead. Sorry, guys. Hey, Garrett. Yeah, I've been wondering about that. I recognize the name, but I didn't have any way to get in touch with you. um, but I got them. There was no note inside or any kind of explanation as to what it was. I remembered the name, but I couldn't find you in any of my previous stuff, so I couldn't reach out to you. So yeah, 35 to 75 card orders. I typically put those into a team bag like this, like these are, and I put that into a 000 bubble mailer. You could use a little bit bigger one; that wouldn't be an issue. But that's what I do. Yeah, it got a little chilly here today, so I had to wear I guess it's a cardigan. If we'll go with cardigan, it's comfortable. Got the elbow patches. Yeah, I appreciate it, Garrett. Is it meant to be a gift, or can I recompense you for it in some way? I mean, some of it was pretty damaged, but I'd be happy to, pay for some of it once it gets sorted out. Yeah, that does happen, Yoko. Yeah, it happens a whole lot more if your floor is 5 cents. But I understand wanting to keep a higher floor until you get a really good broad inventory going, so that you're not only getting 5 cent orders or 10 cent orders. Hi, Timo. Wow, really? That's a good pull. Was it sold all as bulk, or was it just like a collection that happened to have that in it? I'm listing all the Silver Tempest and Astral Radiance I can. Yeah, the Curlias, I sell 4 to 12 Curlias a day. It seems like that I ship myself, so here we go, Curlia. When are we getting the podcast? I got to figure out how I want to do that. I've never done a podcast before, except for the one where Pokemart USA interviewed me. I appreciate it, Garrett. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Didn't have to do that. I don't have a whole lot of those that I know of. I'm not trying to, do like Mason and race against rotation. So I sold out of most of those that I had a while back, and I was down to 0 Pokemon cards that I had available to list. So I didn't have any Pokemon cards for a while, and then every time I would get it in, it would immediately sell through my bulk distribution program. So I ended up just getting a couple thousand cards to keep myself and get listed real quick. Mostly trying to list like mid-year stuff, like black and white up through XY, because I just really don't have hardly any of that. All right. Hey, Birch. I appreciate it. Thank you for those kind words, Professor Birch. If y'all aren't watching Professor Birch's content, go ahead and subscribe to his channel. He does a lot of good stuff too. I think he does more with eBay. I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head. I wasn't prepared. Lots and lots of commons and uncommons, which is alright. What's going on? I still have the P.O. box. Yeah, Garrett. Yeah, no problem, Birch. We appreciate you. Yeah, the triple double zero, the triple double zero. Goodness, the triple zero bubble mailers. Yeah, doing it for 2 years now for fun and to fund your hobby. Yeah, it's a good way to do that. Like that's basically what I did for a while before I leaned hard into it, and it was more like buying bulk to pick for buy lists and stuff. But I felt bad for all the stuff that wouldn't go to a buy list. Evolving Skies. That's the set everybody has plenty of. Yeah, if you're cracking boxes, then it depends on which ones you're getting. But Fab definitely has some Flesh and Blood definitely has some really good hits. Yeah, basically this is my full time job. Tungo. I it's taken a lot of work to get it to here, but yeah, basically this is selling bulk and the activities around selling bulk is what I do every day. I have started doing I've started selling some sports cards because I wanted to branch out a little bit because the skills transfer quite a lot over to sports cards, Professor Birch. And so I've got like 4,000 autographed sports cards I picked up at a card show. And I've been selling those slowly through eBay, and I do use the eBay standard envelope there. Buy list, double A cards is a publicly posted offer for certain cards. So like if you go to Card Kingdom and click on their buy list, they'll have a whole database of cards that they have prices for that are their prices they will pay for you to send those cards to them. So I would buy bulk. I would pick out cards that would sell to various buy lists and send them off, and then I would sell the bulk back out to a bulk buy list. Hey, Natamore. Now, too, I'm not above selling non-bulk cards if I get them. If I open a box of something and I happen to have some nicer cards in it and I want to sell, or somebody sells me bulk that happens to have a bunch of sells me bulk hollows that happen to have $3 or $5 or $10 hollows in it, I'm gonna sell them. But I don't mess around with conditions other than near mint. That's just a me rule. I know a lot of people have a lot of success with lower stuff, but unless the card is very valuable and very liquid, I'm not gonna mess with it if it's below near mint. I tend to either give them to my kids or let find someone who will want them or trade them or things like that. So. That's right, Marcus, grinding. My friend Steve would say the Sigma grind set. I don't know what that means, but that's what he says all the time. Yeah, day's going pretty good. Comic books. I've picked up a few comic books. I have listed a few comic books. I have sold 0 comic books. I want to be bigger into comic books, but I don't really have the know-how. So, and I don't have the huge capital it would take for me to start buying a whole lot of comic books because they want at least $1 for each one. Let's see. Primary sources, people selling me bulk. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Do you think it's possible to send an ESE order non-machinable? I have no idea. I don't know if that would work or not. You might try getting one of those do not bend self-inking stamps and stamp on it, just to catch the postal worker's eye. But from what I understand, I mean, I hadn't thought about it, but my guess would have been that since it's tracked postage, that it would be treated like a parcel. But I could be wrong. Anyway, I send cards not with regular stamps, not non-machinable stamps all the time, and I very extraordinarily rarely have an issue. So I'll have to check that out, Yoko. I feel like for me to really get an idea of, because I would want to treat it the same way. I would want to treat comic books from a bulk standpoint, right? I'm not looking to get into graded CGC 9.8 slabs or whatever kind of bull jive all that is. I'm not going to chase keys and things like that. I would want to buy, 5,000 comic books for $100 or something like that, and be able to turn them around and sell them. I don't know that that's possible. I haven't seen stuff like that super available around me. I don't know if that just means that's just because there's less comic books out there than I think there are, or fewer people trying to sell them that way, or if I'm just not looking in the right places, All these are pack fresh cards. They smell really good. Thanks for that info, Double A. That helps us all out. ESE eBay standard envelope is not non-machinable. It is machinable. I guess we're smelling the same thing, David. These are your cards, so. A lot of people are wondering that too. I myself included. That would be really helpful. And it doesn't even have to be 60 cents. I'd be fine if it's 99 cents. If they say it's 99 cents and then take care of all that for us, I'd be okay with that. The marketplace for sports cards, it's kind of set up like TCGplayer, called buysportscards.com, which I'll probably do a video about before too long. Just because I like listing cards on there so much compared to eBay. They have a standard envelope thing like eBay does too. It's a little bit more. It's 80 cents, but it works identically. And the cards showed up, so hadn't had any complaints from the 3 or 4 people who bought from me. Oh yeah, it definitely could be improved. Card throne, definitely. But you don't have to worry too much about that. Like it's if it's in a standard envelope and that happens, eBay takes care of the buyer and the seller. So it's nice. At least they're supposed to. I believe that's a question that comes up on the tax thing, Crocodonk. Cheapest way to track packages. Now, if you're not sending standard envelope through eBay or by sportscards.com, I use a service called Pirate Ship. They don't have any kind of affiliate or sponsorship or anything, but they've been the easiest for me to work with. I have in the past used stamps.com, which is owned by USPS. It doesn't really come out a whole lot cheaper for stamps. It does come out a little bit cheaper on the shipping, but Pirate Ship has been very nice. They integrate well with my label making software, so I can just print out the labels on the thermal label printer. So I've been really pleased with them. It's neat to see how a lot of the things I've come up with are similar things that other people have come up with, because I didn't. A lot of it was me struggling and trying to figure out different things and trying a bunch of things and seeing what worked best, and trying a bunch of other things and seeing if they worked better and whatnot. And it's neat that a lot of people have come to the same conclusions. It's also neat when not everybody has and we can share information. So up to 22 people watching. That's definitely more than I used to get last year when I first when I did a couple of lives last year. Yeah, Yoko, I very strongly discourage trying to buy discounted stamps through eBay or anything like that. 99% of the time they're actually Chinese printed counterfeits, and that's not like jingoism against China or anything like that. It's literally the truth is they have been being printed by Chinese counterfeiters and sent here. Yeah, shipping shields are great, Nathan. I love the shipping shields. If you're ever, any of you guys are ever needing shipping shields, just find one of my videos and click on one of the links there. Or I've got a ad for them on my website. Yeah, I get that, Buck. I only get mine from the post office about half the time, and that's usually when I'm dropping off like flat rate boxes or whatever. The rest of the time, I get them from whatever grocery store I happen to go to that day, because I have to go to the grocery store every day, it seems like. Kenneth, I'm glad to help. It means a lot to me to know that I'm actually helping. So I thank you for those kind words. And thanks for watching. So like I think the biggest level they do without having to contact them directly is like 9,000 shipping shields or 8,000 shipping shields, and they get under 8 cents a piece that way. Without you getting your own custom labeling printed on it or anything. If you want to get your own custom labeling on it, then it's I don't know, a couple cents more. You have to email Greg to ask about that specifically. That's the owner of Shipping Shields. Well, I'm glad I inspired you to. Yeah, 8 cents is not bad, really. You can occasionally find top loaders at that price, but they're not as good, in my opinion. And then it's hard to always get them at that price. Yeah, I'm really pleased with this MTech Cave stuff that they sent me. That was really nice of them. It seems really high quality. Yeah, you got to squeeze it in whenever you can. But windowless envelopes, yeah, a lot of people do get a lot out of those windowless envelopes. I never really have personally, just because I don't like spending extra for them. Let's see, do I collect any other TCG? So I started out as a Magic player and collector, moved into this. So I collect a little bit of Magic. I collect a little bit of Pokemon. You know, mostly some, weird stuff that catches my eye. Magic would be more of a childhood passion for me, and Pokemon's a little bit more of something I've moved into. I'm looking to collect, a couple of sets of Ice Shores just from shows that I've watched that I really like. That's good for your first collection to pick up, your first bulk lot, too. You were here for my last stream as well back in May. I don't have Professor Birch for Lorcana. I don't have a relationship with the distributor, so I'm not like looking to get a whole bunch of product and crack. But I know it's going to be available to sell on TCGplayer. I'm hoping that there becomes enough of a player market to support bulk, and I'll be happy to lean into bulk when that happens. I didn't lean into bulk for MetaZoo because I don't feel like there's enough of a player base to support commons and uncommons, right? Increase or decrease in demand across the TCGs. I haven't noticed any kind of increase or decrease, Ty. It's been pretty steady. It's been a whole lot more. My sales have gone up and down a whole lot more based on how much effort I put into it, right? Yeah, and that's fine, Natamura. I can't say you're doing it wrong. A lot of people do it that way and are successful. At the time, it just made more sense for me. I don't have a printer that has cheap ink, unfortunately, so that was a consideration. Hi, Jesus. Yeah, I'm not really an investor. It's more of a more sales, less investing. I'm not buying to keep. I'm not hodling any of these. But yeah, Lorcana, it's either gonna fall flat and then maybe pick up in a couple of years, or it's gonna be pretty big. Yeah, that like I said, it's one way or the other on Lorcana. There's been some concerns that maybe Ravensburger doesn't know how to run a card game. So there's that. I'm excited to play it because I want to play it with my kids. Thoughts about a retail store one day? I potentially would be interested in partnering with somebody else to run the retail store as far as the customer service, human interaction, running events, all of that stuff. I have done the retail nightmare in my past, and I can merchandise the crap out of a store, but I am not interested in being in the being on the front lines with customers, right? Also, every time I see all that floor space, I'm gonna think I could put more shelves in there. If I could put more shelves in there, I can put another 2 million bulk cards in there. Hey, TCG Fun. Welcome to the show. Doing good. How are you doing? That's not how it is. It's I don't want to hang out and play, and run events and deal with the, it's the random thing about it, right? It's the randomness, the unplannedness, it's a bit much for me. A continuous ink supply system. Yeah, I'm not having to buy cartridges very often right now, Scott, because I'm only printing out like eBay packing slips and my packing slips for my reimbursement invoices for TCGplayer Direct. Working. That's kind of what we're as a bunch of other people. What are you other guys working on? Is that better? Is that better? Are we back? Okay. What was the question, Retro? Prepping for the week ahead? Yes, I was answering it. Maybe it was getting lagged out. It won't becoming level 4 won't change anything immediately. You'll want to prep for your pricing and stuff before you change over to free shipping. If you decide to change over to free shipping, that's going to be the biggest change. If you change to free shipping, it's going to dramatically increase your volume. You want to make sure your pricing is all set up for the dynamic shipping if you set the pricing to free shipping. Yes, sweetheart.
Can I?
Talk, please.
Can I? I'm gonna go get a piece of paper.
Okay. Go ahead. Go. Go ahead. Hopefully that answers it for you, Retro. I do recommend free shipping. I recommend free shipping and just being mindful about what floor that you want to set your price at. But I definitely recommend free shipping. Because if you don't have free shipping, it's going to be, anytime, say you leave it at 99 cents shipping, any card you list for 10 cents, it's going to slot it in to the other cards at $1.09, and it may be on page 7 before you get there. But hey, Zeus, that's why you got to watch the rest of the videos and get you all organized up. Oh yeah, you get to use the pricing tab at level 4. That's exciting. I forget that that's not available until level 4. The pricing tab. Quick list you have to have the pro account for, I think. And I don't actually like it very much compared to just organizing and listing things, but that's for me selling bulk. If I weren't selling only bulk, it would probably be a little faster to list with quick list than it would be using the inventory tab. But yeah, the pricing tab is great when you're listing lots of bulk, because it takes just as long to enter one copy of a card as it does to enter 15 copies of a card. And you can just work straight down the list in a set, alphabetized. Yeah, so it's so yeah, if you look at one of those listings too, it'll show, it's 5 cents free shipping for $5 if your order is $5 and over. That's for somebody who has set to a free shipping option. They're still going to charge the shipping if it's under $5, and pass that along to you. But they will organize the card. They'll sort the card on the listing page as if it's free shipping. Hey, thank you, Second Floor Games. I'm really glad to be able to be helpful. Yeah, Professor Birch, yeah, he opted out of Direct. I believe he and I have a different philosophical standpoint with, like a different philosophical approach. Because one thing that he's not understanding, in my opinion, is the sheer amount of volume and work that TCGplayer does for you by having direct available, so that the number of sales you have is way higher. And two, I'm sorry about the lag. It's the internet in this building isn't great. Also, like direct allows you to sell those cards at 5 and 10 and 20 cents and it be profitable. Like, it's not going to be profitable to sell a 5-cent card by itself through TCGplayer and ship it yourself. You're out 10 or 15 cents. But through TCGplayer Direct, you're going to make a penny or 2 or 5. So yeah, there's multiple internet channels here, so when one lags, I can switch to the other one, and it usually picks up really quick. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm treating it retro. I'm going to do... did we lose it again? There we go. Yeah, sports cards on eBay and TCG stuff that doesn't make sense to sell through TCGplayer. Yes, Faye. Thank you, John. Thank you, John Razor. That's I really appreciate the feedback. That sounds exciting. Second floor. I'm on the second floor too, actually. Brokilla, I've thought a whole lot about the sorting machines. And I've talked a whole lot about it, but I'll talk about it some more. My opinion on the sorting machines is that they can be useful. They are really expensive, even the cheaper ones, and they do one job. They do one job pretty well. They do that job about as well as I can do that job. They do that job about as well as an employee I might hire could do that job. And yeah, there's more involved in having an employee, but an employee can do a whole lot of other things as well. Like, they can put the cards that are sorted and listed onto the shelf into the inventory. They can move boxes up and down the stairs. They can take the trash out. They can ship orders. All that kind of stuff. Yeah, getting to level 4, it's kind of like a gatekeep thing. It's just to make sure that you're actually serious about selling cards. It's not really equivalent to being a long-time seller on eBay. It's more like equivalent to being a 6-month seller on eBay or a 3-month seller on eBay. Getting to 50 feedback on eBay, Yeah, sure, Jesus. They could set the place on fire, but hopefully they're not going to do that. And, the sorting machine could short out and catch on fire too, so I guess... So direct, as far as listing, it doesn't change anything for you. You don't list separately as direct or anything like that. It's just if you are in the direct program and they have those cards in their warehouse, then you'll get a tag next to your card that shows that it's available through direct. Hollow bulk, if it's bending or warping, I've got a bunch of silica packets like you find in pill bottles and stuff. You can get them on Amazon pretty cheap. And I'll shove it into a Tupperware container with some of those for a couple of weeks. It's not 24/7. It's got to be managed, Brokilla. Unless you rig up a big giant hopper with a couple 100,000 bulk cards sitting up over it. I do sell expensive cards when I get them, Jesus. I don't. I sold a Bruvac the Grandiloquent yesterday from the Jumpstart, the Mill Legend. But I don't actively seek them. I don't go out and buy binders and stuff like that on purpose because I don't like negotiating. I don't like having to put in the work to find that kind of stuff. I'd rather people just come to me with bulk and say, here's your bulk. I did consistently have sales before I was in direct. I got up to about, before I got into direct, I still was around 90,000, 100,000 cards in inventory before I got into direct. Lucky, it's not like that. It's like if they don't have it in their warehouse, then you'll have to be responsible for filling the order yourself. It's still your store that's attached to it. It's still they're buying from TCG Bulk Kings or level 13 cards or whoever. So your presence on the website is still the same. It just gets fulfilled by TCGplayer. And then you reimburse them with another card. Yeah, I got a lot of cards too. So these, I'm checking the rarity symbol, honestly. I'm just doing a category sort, Iron Blood. So I'm just making sure that none of them are damaged, and that none of them are rares or hollows. I want to make sure that they're all commons and uncommons. Any rares or hollows or anything else, anything that's damaged, I'll set aside. My South End, my floor price for cards in direct is 5 cents. Average price that I pay to pick up a card is about a penny. Average price to ship a card is about a penny. At 5 cents, it costs 2 cents in fees to sell it, so I'm making a penny every sale. Second edition MetaZoo spellbook you found in a collection. Would it be worth it to bulk out the cards or just sell it as a whole? If it's sealed, I don't know. I don't know enough about MetaZoo. I would check prices. Check the price of it sealed and check the price of the individual cards. No, Joseph. Welcome, but every card has value, even MetaZoo. Look, I sell 95 tops cards online on eBay every now and then, so, you know. That's right, South End. I don't go I don't sell below 5 cents. I'll list it at 5 cents and it'll sell eventually. Yeah, viral. I mean, when I send off my order, my reimbursement invoice, my reimbursement invoice that I get from TCGplayer for all the cards that I have sold through direct, and I've got to send them a package with the 700 or 1200 or 2500 cards I've sold that week or whatever. You send them in one package, and if it's 1,000 cards and you send it in a 1-row box, it costs about $9 to ship it, so it's about a penny a card. Yeah, my perspective on that, if it's a 2-cent card, I'll list it at 5 cents. Maybe somebody will buy it because it's direct. Maybe somebody will buy it because I've got 75 of them and they need them all. I haven't been following MetaZoo prices. From what I understand, the sealed prices are coming back up a little bit, but I don't follow it. When selling bulk, is there a way to offset the shipping in a flat rate box? So yeah, I ship via pirate ship. That's where I buy the postage for that. You can get a flat rate large box shipping for about $19 there. That helps. Beyond that, it's making sure you pack everything you can in there. What are you looking for, Jesus? Maybe I can hook you up. Most crazy thing I found in bulk. I found, I don't know, there's not a whole lot. The best things are usually like you find a whole stack of $6 cards or something like that. It's not like I've ever found a Mana Crypt or base set Shadowless Charizards or anything like that. But it's you find weird stuff. A lot of $2 to $10 low end reserve list cards that have spiked since the people who last looked in the box looked in there. It's Italian legends, rares, and things like that. It's finding out that some common from Torment is $3 now, and they sent you a half dozen or 100 near mint copies of it. Yeah, as far as what do I collect, I would like to collect master sets of things. It's hard, so right now I'm just trying to pick up like 8th and 9th edition. Because I think the modern white border cards don't get enough love. I think they look really cool, and they're really neat new artworks that I'm not used to, because I'm used to the 4th edition artworks, right? Any tips that will help you get more Fab sales, or just slower to sell in general? Well, Fab just has fewer players than Magic, right? So that's a thing. So if you want to speed up your sales, you gotta lower your prices, or you gotta get more desirable stuff. I don't have any better tips than that. My price floor for games not indirect is 10 cents currently, so I move stuff at 10 cents pretty okay. Are we lagging again, or is it just me? Yeah, let me refresh the internet again real quick. Oh, I'm fine? Okay. Thanks, Yoko. Yeah, 7th edition foils are really pretty. If you've got 7th edition foils, you're doing good. Yeah, the full art lands they've been doing are really pretty. They sell really well. I have tried that, Jameson. I've tried doing that, especially for Fab, because I have lots of Fab, and I haven't ever been able to get anybody to buy them. I know people who have, but I haven't ever been able to successfully do it. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. Second floor, being the bigger fish in a smaller pond is never a bad idea. And then if you can be the bigger fish in lots of small ponds, then you're doing really good. I just already was into Magic, so I got into Magic, and then Pokemon seemed like a good place to branch into. How often am I going to be doing lives? More often than once a year, I can tell you that. This has been pretty fun and low stress. That's right, Jameson. That's exactly right. Everything sells. That's somebody will buy it. Yeah, Magic's just the biggest one in the room, right? I don't know, too. I wasn't even planning on doing this live a couple of days ago. I haven't looked at the memberships or anything like that. I'm not sure what I would offer for them. Yeah, Brokilla. So that would generally be the next step. So what I do is I category sort first, just to get an idea of what types of bulk I have. So if somebody had sent me, maybe a quarter of this was non-hollow rares or something like that, they would be set in a separate category. And then I would take those in chunks and sort the chunks and work those through my system. I've got a big video that I did, I don't know, about a month ago, about my whole bulk processing system, if you want to go have a look at that. Yeah, would that be something that you'd like, Jesus? Got to cover the cost of the stamp. Sold a car for $175. What do y'all use for high value shipments? I've just used USPS and made sure it was insured properly. I've only sold a couple of things at that level, so that were in one package anyway. Yeah, it's a good idea, Jesus. I was just checking. Commons. Okay. Time is it? 2 o'clock. I got about 15 more minutes before I gotta start gearing up to go and pick up my son from school. Your thoughts on the shifts in moving away from Black Star non-hollow rares and doing 2 to 3 reverse hollows and hollows per pack? Joseph, I don't know. I think it's fine. I don't think it's gonna bother too much. I think the new cards look neat. I haven't held any in my hand yet. I've had some Japanese cards, but none of the new ones. I'm looking to see if the bulk prices shift at all, but I'm not super concerned about it. Hi, Southern Geeks. Jameson, it really depends on what I'm doing. If I'm shipping, I do better sitting. This makes sense for sitting because of the way the camera setup is. But if I were just doing this on my own, it'd probably all be up on the tabletop and standing. Well, nice to show up, Bertram. Nice to see you. Yeah, that might be a bit much for me, Jesus. Thanks for the kind words, Mountain Life Magic. How do I keep my back from hurting if I spend more than an hour sitting or standing? Yeah, I consume lots of ibuprofen, but how do you allocate your time with this? Is it already set up in advance? What do you mean, Brokilla? Is what all set up in advance? Oh yeah, Jameson? Yeah, I would say, don't stop selling on eBay, even don't stop selling cards on eBay. Just make it a different channel, right? I do like TCGplayer because I don't have to take pictures of the cards. It's not just that, but it's that eBay focuses on individual listings for each card. So every time I want to sell a new card like this Makahita, maybe, even if I could sell that reasonably on eBay, I would have to create a new listing to do that and spend 30 seconds to 2 minutes doing that. And with TCGplayer, I can sort them all out, and I've got these 15 Phantoms that's next down the list, and then next down the list is the next one, and they just list so much faster. I know there's sports cards people who use scanners and AI and all this. There's a whole lot of bending over backwards to make eBay listing not ridiculous, but I don't want to do that. Let's see, 1 hour sorting. Yeah, that's probably a good idea, Brokilla. Separate out your activities so that you're not doing the same thing over and over again for long periods of time. Stretching, of course, yeah, that helps. Yeah, for the sports cards I do on eBay, I do fronts and backs, but the back of every Pokemon card is the same. The back of every baseball card is different. So, Blog of Smog lot selling. I have feelings about. I get the argument that there's a marketplace for it because people buy it, but I honestly think that for the most part, selling lots direct to consumer is usually kind of on the edge of immoral because it exploits the ignorance of the customer. I don't like, if I sold this 100 card pack for $20 or whatever, but it's all a bunch of, it's bulk that I just paid, 20 cents for or whatever. I guess it's $2 or $1.50. Anyway, I don't like selling things at a value that doesn't make sense, right? This isn't equivalent to opening a similar number of packs. Even if it had, rares seated in it, they're rares that I picked out to put in it, not ultra rares. Or even if it's ultra rares, they're ultra rares I picked out to put in it. There's no chance at getting the high-end cards. The value that comes from opening a Pokemon official Pokemon booster pack from a Pokemon booster box is that there's the expected value of the chance to open the high-end cards. So selling bulk lots in that way, direct to consumer, because they don't understand and they think they're just getting a bunch of cards instead of getting a smaller number of cards, is misrepresenting it at the least. Now, selling bulk business to business with the understanding that it's bulk, and on the seller and the buyer side both knowing that it's bulk, I don't have any problem with that. Yeah, a lot of people do, and that's because a lot of people actually do that, and they have had success with it in the past. It's getting less profitable as it goes forward because the market's getting flooded with people doing it. So there's more competition. Um, 23K in 90 days. That's amazing, Jameson. My 90-day sold on my eBay channel, I think, is $80. Well, I've just started. I think I've got almost 200 cards listed now. They're all cards I picked up at a card show. I got a whole 5-row box of sports cards, so that's about 5,000 cards, all autographed for $40. So less than a penny per card, and I'm selling them at $2.99, free shipping. So yeah. So after this, category sort, I'll take a chunk like a 1,000, a 1 row of a box, and I'll set sort that, and then I'll list that. And that way it's discrete units. I'm not trying to sort out 40,000 cards set sorted before I list a single card. But I got to get the categories sorted out first, so I'm not accidentally missing a whole bunch of stuff that I might need to list quickly. I think there is, Bertram. I think you could, but I mean, you're going to have to compete with all the people who are claiming to have, you know, value in there, or mystery packs and stuff like that. I think mystery packs is a little bit better, but you still get to seed the mystery packs, so it's... Yeah, Jameson has his own channel, I think, if you want to follow him. Well, I wouldn't, Bertram. That's not my business. I can't really tell you too much about that. But I'm kind of up and down on Daily Refinement. Like I followed him for a while, but he a lot of, I don't know, it seemed a little smarmy, a lot of what he was doing or talking about. And I don't have a full understanding of all the issues he's been having with eBay. I would like to do that kind of thing with like roundtable discussions and stuff like that with TCG sellers. I try to do that on occasion in my Patreon group. But I've been struggling to do that as much as I want. Okay. I think I've caught up to where you're at, Jameson. Almost done with this box.
Do you think I can balance this on my head?
Probably.
Yes?
Yeah. If you try hard enough.
What?
If you try hard enough.
Okay.
Yeah, so I do need to... I am starting to look for understanding how to hire somebody. Not necessarily to sort, but that would be part of what I would show them how to do. Hopefully sometime in the next couple of months. I'm also looking to make some moves to maybe make myself slightly less dependent on TCGplayer itself after the whole TCGplayer card trader thing that happened a couple weeks ago. How many hours would I say I spend sorting and shipping cards a week? It's a full-time job, but I'm not only sorting and shipping. So shipping takes me about an hour to an hour and a half every day, depending on the amount of orders. Sometimes it's less than that. And if I have a reimbursement invoice I have to fill, that usually takes me 4 hours or so. That's like once every week or two. Sorting, I try to get to 1,000 cards listed every day. So it's some sorting and some listing and some inventory management and all that. It's hard to say exactly. But I'm also shooting videos and writing stuff and taking care of my kids and doing laundry. It all kind of mixes together. I'm in Middle Tennessee too. Where are you at? Yeah, Card Trader. Card Trader. So it's a international marketplace that is similar to TCGplayer, and they got a lot of people to sign up by advertising their ability to sync your inventory between them and TCGplayer. And they just expanded into North America. So TCGplayer finally decided, hey, no, we're not going to let you do that anymore. And their way of doing that was by deactivating a whole lot of accounts until they ended their synchronization of inventory with Card Trader. Card Trader is a good place, but a good marketplace. It's not quite as much traffic as TCGplayer, though. What quantity are your RIs looking like? It depends on how much I've listed, because you get one every 2 weeks unless you hit $300, right? So if I'm listing consistently, they can easily be 1,500, 200, 2,000, 2,500 cards. If I'm listing consistently and it's all cheap. Okay. Get your shoes on. Okay. I gotta step away for a second, guys. Hold on. I gotta finish talking to these guys for about 5 minutes, okay?
Daddy,
What?
me and Cyrus have been working on lots of.
Yeah. I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. I got about 5 minutes before I gotta head out to pick up my son from school. To answer Jameson's question, options other than TCGplayer. So I'm looking to try and make my business more independent of any one particular platform. So it's not just like switching to eBay, which owns TCGplayer anyway. So if TCGplayer decides to hate me, there's an equal chance that eBay would hate me too. So I'm going to use those platforms, but not depend solely on them. I'm looking to hopefully develop out my website more in the future. Be able to sell things directly through the website, so that if the TCGplayer doesn't work out or they close off my pro website or whatever, then that will still be an avenue for me to sell things. So I don't know what that's going to look like necessarily for sure now. I'm going to lean more into making the website more of a hub for you guys, people like you guys, to come to and use as a resource, not just for seeing bulk buy prices, but for all kinds of other things. Reselling shipping cards so far looks like $12 to $15 per 1,000 views. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to stick with TCG sales. I don't think TCG games are going anywhere, and that's where my knowledge is. It's where my joy is, and so I'm sticking with it. I don't do this particular task because I have to do this. I do this because this is what makes me happy. So I'm not looking to get to 10 figures or whatever on TCG sales, but I'm gonna live and be happy. So hopefully, like, long term, this does build up into a big type business that is more transparent than the other bulk buying businesses. If you're familiar with sports cards at all, it's more. I'm hoping to be more like Burbank sports cards than say Safari Zone or Star City Games. Nothing against Pete at Star City; he's a great guy. But I want, and I know there's plenty of room for people to understand this part of the business. So if I had a spare 1,000, would I buy bulk or buy one card? Hands down, bulk. Hands down. I hate the risk of buying one single $1,000 card. It may drop $200 before I get a chance to flip it. It may get lost in the mail, that one card. There's too much risk for me. I get antsy with that. I wouldn't mind having $1,000 card to hold, but I don't want to transact it, right? And I don't want to take on that much risk for a very little amount of margin, right? If I bought $1,000 worth of bulk, I'm gonna be able to turn that into $1,500, $2,000, more than that, long term, and be able to do all this and enjoy it and have that ready to go. So How many cards is $1,000 in bulk like? It depends on the game. So Magic, that's what? I've forgotten how to do math. Nice to see you, Troy. Thanks for coming in. Bulk, yeah, bulk is the market opportunity. It's something that a lot of people don't want to do, and a lot of people aren't doing. A lot of people are discounting, and one of the best things you can do is go against the grain on that in a way that makes sense. Like if you can find a business model in bulk that makes sense and no one else is doing it because it's tedious or boring, just do it and keep doing it until it's unreasonable for you to not be good at it anymore. And then when you're good at it, keep doing it until you're so bored with it that you want to pop out your eyeballs, because it's money and it works. Okay, I gotta call it there, guys. I gotta go pick up my son from school. Does anybody have any other questions before I run off? I have bought bulk off of local LGSs before. Most of the time LGSs don't want me to give them bulk. A lot of times LGSs don't even buy bulk from their customers, so they don't have bulk to sell. Thanks for stopping by, too. Thanks, Jameson. Yeah, good luck with everybody. It was nice chatting with you guys. It was fun. I was worried I was going to be feel weird, but it wasn't. All right, thanks everybody for stopping by. I'm going to go ahead and head off.